Now, it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. But when I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did.
Lying in bed with the bare naked ladies. What a way to start off the sleep hour. It's Boomer Life on CIL 650. Good morning and welcome to the program. Terry Harder and Dave Temlett from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock are with us on the program today. No bare naked ladies, but great music to kick things off, courtesy of our producer, Dwayne Bishop. Good morning, Dave and Terry.
Good morning, Sterling.
Good morning, Sterling.
It's been a few months since we had a visit from you fellas at Innovative Sleep Solutions. How's your summer?
Fantastic. It took some time off. That's why we haven't been here. But Terry and I both got a little bit of a break to recharge, and we're moving forward, looking at some great stuff that we've got coming in down the pipe.
And last time I was in the store, the plaque from the Better Business Bureau was prominently displayed on one of the walls. So that clicked through this summer, too. Nice touch, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a privilege to be part of the membership program there, and I think it just adds a lot more credibility to what it is that Terry and I do.
All right. Now, Terry, tell us a little bit about you and Dave. Your business partners, your friends. You've been colleagues in the sleep business for a very, very long time. And I should point out to our listeners this morning that between Terry and Dave, we're talking about a couple of guys with over 50 years experience in the sleep business. So, Terry, where did it all start for you?
It all started for me in 1996. I got moved to Sleep Country in Coquitlam. Dave was the manager. So that was really my first time working with somebody who really was knowledgeable and could steer me in the direction to help me to be successful. And part of the reason why I went in business with him, I figured if somebody has that much knowledge and experience that could help me years ago, obviously he has some, he knows a lot of stuff that can help us be successful in business as well. And so far, that's holding true.
So that's back to 96 for you.
Yep.
And Dave, you go back even further in the sleep biz. When did you start?
Oh, good heavens. I started back with Woodward's Department Stores in 1981.
There's a vintage old Vancouver name, huh?
Absolutely. Great company. Unfortunately, they succumbed to the modern time, and I was with them for 12 years until they closed in 93. Left there, and I worked for Eaton's, selling furniture and mattresses for them for a short period of time until I heard about this new company that was incoming and called Sleep Country Canada, and I was the very first employee and manager hired of that company back in 1994, and worked for them for the first 5 years, and then left there and started up the Jordan's Casual Home Furniture Division, selling furniture and mattresses with them. And then Terry and I had an opportunity to work together again a couple of years ago at Heritage Beds, and when that company went under, it just seemed that Terry was a natural choice. He's the best salesperson I've ever worked with. He really understands and identifies with the customer what their needs are, and he is fantastic at finding solutions. So it was just inevitable that we came up with the name Innovative Sleep Solutions for our business, and we started on June 1st in the Heritage Beds location in South Surrey, and so we've about 15 months into this venture, and yeah, we're just having a thrill, a lot of fun doing this, and this program has just been unbelievably successful for our company. It really is, to get our message out there, what it is that we do differently from other retailers, why people should come and see what we have to offer. Terry and I have so much experience between the two of us, and we work really well together at helping the customer uncover the best solution for their particular needs.
Well, you know, it's not just about getting a good night's sleep. I mean, that's certainly paramount for anyone who's not getting good night's sleep. All you want is, gee, just give me a good night's sleep, please. Mm-hmm. But you know, it goes further than that. It goes to health. It goes to well-being, mental and physical well-being. Sleep is super important. We spend about a quarter of our lives sound asleep in some degree of comfort or another, and that's what it's all about. It's about being comfortable, waking up, feeling good, Terry, and ready for another day of good health.
Absolutely, and part of it is trying to find a way that we have sleep efficiency, where we're not tossing and turning as much, where we are not hot and cold all night, all things that disrupt the quality of our sleep, and that's where we come in. And those are the questions we ask. Well, how are you sleeping on your current bed? Are you finding you're getting pressure points? Are you tossing and turning a lot? Are you finding you're getting up out of bed a lot throughout the night, that your sleep is such that you need something that's going to improve the amount of REM or delta sleep that you experience throughout the night? And again, that's where we come in, that we can steer them to beds that we pick, that we know offer, as Dave says, solutions to help someone to spend a little less time in bed and get a better quality sleep, which is what we're all after.
Right. Let me quote from an article, and I know you guys run ads in the Vancouver province. You've got a thing going with the Vancouver Sun this weekend too that you can tell us about in a second. But this is just a piece that I pulled out of the newspaper a few days ago that quotes a couple of people who are, and they're just talking about sleeping and specifically about mattresses. And if you don't mind, let me just read a couple of lines from this article. Of all the items in our homes, the one we use the most that could be most integral to our quality of life is a mattress. With so much time spent sleeping, a suitable mattress is important not only for a good night's sleep, but also for back health. And this is quoting a physiotherapist in Victoria who says the amount of time you spend in your bed is significant. If you have a really poor mattress, you're looking at an increased risk of degenerative changes in the spine or in your shoulders. And then she goes on to talk about arthritis and all of that sort of thing. But in fairness, says walking into the mattress section of a store can be overwhelming, and with so much selection, it can be absolutely baffling. So this is a situation that we've talked about many times in the past here. The fact that people seem to want to go for the best deal dollar-wise, Dave, when they're buying a mattress, and that may not always be the most important priority. Of course you're looking for a good price and more importantly, good value for your dollar, but the cheapest isn't always necessarily the right choice.
Well, that's very true, and most often the cheapest works out to be the most expensive in the long run
because you have to replace them so often.
Well, and I just had a customer in the store a couple of days ago, Sterling, that they told me that they have purchased from a department store. They've now on their fourth bed from this department store in the last 10 years. So, understandably, they're somewhat reluctant to want to spend more money on a mattress, but obviously they recognize that whatever they've bought from this department store, they've got 4 beds that are failures for them. So they're looking around, trying to find other, other opportunities to get a better night's sleep by getting another mattress. So when you take into account 4 mattresses, if they had just purchased, spent a little bit more money on a mattress that was going to give them, the support and the longevity factor, it would probably cost them less money 10 years ago than it did over the last several years, the last 4 years, for example. So, yeah, often the cheapest bed is not the best deal. It's great for a spare room, stuff like that.
Right.
But for the master bedroom, you really should be looking at investing a little more because you get what you pay for. Now, we are a little different than other retailers in the sense of the products that we select. We carry the full line of Simmons. Simmons has been around for over 100 years. They've done a phenomenal job manufacturing the pocket coil, the Beautyrest pocket coil.
Sure, well-known name.
Yeah, and it's the best spring system manufactured in the marketplace, bar none. And it tries to basically replicate a product such as latex. Latex is very prominent in Europe. About 80% of the population sleep on latex over there. And how it works in conjunction to the pocket coil is it really does contour your shoulders, your hips, taking full conformability, keeping your spine in the right orthopedically correct alignment, if you will. So the pocket coil will do the same sort of idea, but the drawback you have with a spring system is that it's trying to exert energy back up opposite of gravity. So it's pushing the pressure back into your body, as where latex will actually absorb it right deep into the mattress.
Right.
But there's so many variations in the marketplace of mattresses, latex, where it's got 1 or 2 inches on top of a biofoam. So the best support would be going into 100% latex all the way through, a solid latex core.
Right. But if you're looking, if your experience is in a coiled mattress, and obviously if they would be, a person would go based on experience. I've slept on coiled mattresses, and mine's just kind of worn out. So why don't you show me what you've got in the newest line of coiled mattresses? And you can certainly do that. But at the same time, you're also going to take the opportunity to show that person alternatives.
Well, absolutely. So the full line of Simmons, we carry Sealy and Serta as well. We carry their premium products. We carry Restonic, Nature's Embrace, which is the healthiest line in the marketplace. All the mattresses we bring in Sterling have to have Serta Pure foam in them. And what Serta Pure foam is, it's derived of a oil-based product coming from plant oils as opposed to a petrochemical oil. So they don't have the same level of toxins or off gases, chemical releases into the atmosphere. So we really do focus on the consumer's health. Then in addition to all the brands I just mentioned, we carry the Restonic line as well with the magnet therapy beds. So we've really got more than any other retailer out in the marketplace as to what the consumer can select from.
Terry, if 65% of people in Europe sleep on some form of latex mattress, why is that? Why is it so enormously popular over there and we're playing catch-up ball over here?
Well, it was always, up until the last 10 years, much more expensive to ship latex into North America. But now we're on a global economy. We've got big, huge container loads coming in all the time. So hence the whole world opened up, that fortunately for North Americans, we're getting a chance to more and more experience latex, and we pick quality latex. It's from India, as we've talked about in the show before, regarding the most stringent testing once a year to continue to ensure that the quality of the latex is on the cutting edge of resiliency, of keeping its height retention, and so on and so forth. So latex really is the very best for pressure point relief benefits. It has the lowest hysteresis, which again is a term not talked about in mattress stores, where it takes the least amount of energy to move on a latex mattress. It's open cell, so it breathes very, very well. So you're not getting retention of heat where you're finding yourself waking up having to kick the covers off of your legs and then getting cold and covering up. So you're not going back and forth out of your sleep cycle and waking up. And then, as I mentioned, in the hysteresis, it's a lot easier to move in the bed. So hence you don't wake up when you move on a latex bed, so you get a better quality sleep. So those are all things why we picked latex.
Well, it's interesting, one doesn't think in terms of the mattress contributing to hot and cold spells throughout an evening's sleep. But how does that happen? How does that work, Terry? How does the mattress, the chemistry of the mattress affect your body temperature as the night goes on?
Well, petrochemical products are very cold, are very closed cell. So they really do retain the heat in the mattress. And so hence most mattresses, that's how they're made, with lots of high density petrochemical foams that really retain the heat. And that's the benefit of natural fibers, like in our top of the line latex organic bed, 4 pounds of wool in a queen, 6 pounds in a king, hence regulating body temperature. Whereas when you get wool in a mattress, you get about 3%. It's just a marketing gimmick. It really doesn't necessarily give you any sort of benefit whatsoever.
Right.
Which, again, we tell people that. We say, don't be fooled by that very small amount of wool. If you need breathability, here's something you might want to consider.
Right. And speaking in terms of breathability, then you also have to consider, and you've mentioned this once or twice, but I think it bears returning to again, your breathing. And the phrase that you continue to use, Terry, is off-gassing. This is a chemical-produced latex, petrochemical-based latex product that contains, well, petrochemicals. And somehow or another, those off-gas, they're released as you move around on this, and that's probably not very good for you.
Well, that's true, Sterling, and the latex is actually, it's a natural product. So the chemicals that Terry's referring to are actually coming out of the the memory foams.
Okay, right.
So, and those are the ones that we bring in that are actually the foams that are CertaPure. So they have the plant-based oils as opposed to the petrochemical oils.
And CertaPure means, again, this bears repetition, because whoever's manufacturing this product didn't have it certified once back in 1997, so they get to put this label on their product every year thereafter. They have to recertify every year. So the standards are very high.
Well, they are indeed, and more so with the 100% certified organic latex, and that has to be updated on an annual basis.
Right.
With respect to getting back to the memory foams for a second, you're going back about 15 years ago when they first started introducing them into the marketplace locally, and they didn't have any kind of a cooling agent per se in them, so people tend to get quite hot on them. So over the last few years, they've been putting gel infusion in them, so the gel is cool to the touch.
Right.
So
right. I've seen the ads for those. Yeah.
So a lot of mattresses out there will feature gel infusion or gel bead infusion, that sort of thing. Now, what seems to be the latest and greatest technology is something that the Simmons Black series has just introduced, which actually, believe it or not, it sounds a little corny, but it's really quite interesting. They're using minerals in them, which are comprised of diamond dust, and there's up to about 1,000 carats of diamond dust into the top of the line, the Regal series. And what that actually does, Sterling, which is quite remarkable how it works, is it holds the heat. It takes the heat out of the foam and allows it to dissipate deep into the mattress and go through the sidewall, which is an airflow technology. And it's the latest, greatest technology. Then in addition to that, the coil spring is actually derived of what they call a cable coil. So they're taking a conventional pocket coil spring. They'll take 3 pieces of wire and braid them like a rope, if you will, and that creates one coil spring. So it's just the latest, greatest technology, which is going to give you best support, best spinal alignment, and they're using all of the specialty foams in the product. So I would certainly implore any customers to have a look at it. Don't take our word for it. Do some research. We highly recommend you go out and shop 2 or 3 competitors anyhow, and you be the judge. You compare apples to apples.
Our guests are Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions on King George Boulevard in South Surrey, right across the street from Ocean Park Ford, for crying out loud, in the South Surrey Auto Mall. And we'll be back with lots more here on Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.